Hey gang, what's going on? Juan, Ryan, and Keith here with a Byte That channel update, something we haven't done in quite a while. And for all the topics that we bring up here, we want to get your feedback, so make sure you drop a comment below, hit that subscribe button, hit thumbs up if you like this, and let us know just what you want out of us. That sounds kind of odd, but that's what we're here to talk about, guys. You know, we're sort of, breaking the fourth wall, breaking down what we've been up to, what we have planned for the future. So, you guys ready? I have this list here of things that we technically do, and then we're gonna keep doing. Is I guess the point.
Do it.
Let's get right into it.
Okay, so the first thing is recently, thanks to episode 100, we got a new countdown: top 5 favorite WWE finishers. This is something that we're gonna keep working on slowly but surely. So, Keith, this is your thing.
Yeah, I was really happy how that countdown turned out, top 5 finishers. I think we have a really solid list, even though some people don't agree with it, notably in the...
it's part of it.
In the honorable mentions. But nonetheless, yeah, I think it turned out well. I was really happy with the tools that 2K15 gave me, and I'd like to do some more. Some things that we're looking at are like top 5 tag finishers, top 5 signature moves, maybe go down like the entrance idea a little bit if like 2K15 and 16 present good options with that, and yeah, just kind of keep going down the countdowns.
No, and a note about that, obviously you'll notice that with our countdowns, we use video game footage. Obviously, there are legal implications that we try to avoid, so that's why you'll see, regardless of any countdown, long live themes better than the wrestler, but we'll always try to use the games.
Don't mention it.
Yeah, sorry. We'll always try to use the games as a reference. So Keith mentioned that. We got those come down the pipeline within the next couple of months. Stay tuned now. Next thing, Fight Night. Ryan and myself.
That's where I take a back seat.
Keith is the general manager, so he's usually behind the scenes. By that I mean like literally just behind it. And then Ryan and I take man here. Episode 2's already been out, Ryan.
Yeah, season 2's off to a good start. So Fight Night, we definitely want to continue rolling out season 2. We're gonna continue to do Twitch streams, so every once in a while we'll do Fight Night live. Not canon to the Fight Night story, but we just
very important.
We have some fan favorites, take on each other, do requests live in the chat, and that's always a good time. And then of course we'll upload the highlights to the channel. We'll probably do some more behind the scenes stuff at the very least. When season 2 wraps up, whenever that happens, we'll do a wrap up like we did for the first season. And I just want to give you a little bit more hype for season 2, because things are going to get really crazy, where you might see things
like
even
really
outside,
crazy.
yes, even things outside of the boundaries of 2K14, and I'll leave it at that.
Uh-oh. And obviously, if this is your first time ever hearing about Fight Night, it's our fantasy wrestling league. We play in WWE 2K14. It kind of sucks because obviously the transition to WWE 2K16 may not go as smoothly. We're still having a behind the scenes talk about what's going to happen down the line with Fight Night, but we'll always keep you updated throughout these channel updates as to what we have really planned happening. Now, if you subscribed all the way from the beginning, you'll see that the channel is getting a different type of content. We're playing wrestling games for the longest time. Thanks to our top 10 favorite wrestling games countdown, I'll post it in the description box below. We always have people ask us, when are you going to play Here Comes the Pain, No Mercy? So we're doing that. We have a Let's Play of Here Comes the Pain. Ryan, I know you're going to keep playing that. We have Fire Pro, No Mercy. We're going to be playing some Day of Reckoning down the line. That's going to be coming down the pipeline. That's where also the Twitch channel, is really going to come to play, because we want to make sure everybody's involved. It's easier for us to just hit the record button, but honestly, it's not as fun as having everybody be involved. So do follow us over at twitch.tv/bytethat. We're going to have more play runs happening, depending on the time zone. Oddly enough, we have a lot of people from the UK and all that, so it's always a challenge.
We try to accommodate, but
yeah, we always try that. And stay tuned for a lot of WWE 2K16 coverage. I'm getting prepared for that. I may be even doing a stream almost the entire day that game comes out, and the day after I'll keep you updated regarding that happening. Now, if you go to the Twitch channel, and this is where maybe the division of Byte That versus Byte That Wrestling comes into play, we play non-wrestling games. So I want to take a couple of minutes and talk to you guys and ask everybody watching. We are wrestling fans, but as wrestling fans, apparently, we're allowed to like other things, guys. Did you know about this?
When did this happen?
I went on Wikipedia.
Riveting news.
And apparently Wikipedia is not just about like
rethink
facts.
My whole life here.
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy. I got all this stuff. You'd figure should get here's the GameCube controller. So here's my balance and my background. But yeah, so we are contemplating the idea of every now and then on the channel doing something called Wrestling Break. The idea is that we're wrestling fans. Everybody that's subscribed, the three of us. And every once in a while, we just sit back and do something else. Maybe talk about a movie, play a game, or just talk about a game or pop culture. And as wrestling fans, we sort of go into the conversation. I want to ask you guys, actually, Ryan and Keith, are you guys excited for the idea of that happening? Obviously, we have a growing audience that is used to only wrestling, primarily WWE. And all of a sudden, we add this little thing in the corner.
I mean, absolutely, I'm excited about it. As big as wrestling is as a part of my life, I would say video games are right up there. I love playing video games, so why not share my love with the rest of the world? So that is one venture that I'm actually really excited to start going down more and more. I don't know what exactly that looks like yet. I know it's going to involve a lot of Twitch TV, but yeah, no, I'm all for it. Let's do it.
Yeah, it's definitely exciting, and don't be scared that we're all of a sudden just going to change overnight into a totally different channel.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, exactly. We're wrestling first, and we just want to throw a few different things in there every now and then. See if it sticks, see if people like it. Maybe we'll start a little different series. It all depends on the feedback we get and if we enjoy doing it. But we're still going to be primarily wrestling, so don't freak out.
That's what's called Wrestling Break. So yeah, don't hit that unsubscribe button and be like, they're selling out. We're not. It's just that
we want to
get the community.
That's what we're doing.
There you go. Now I just need my money in the bank briefcase or something like that. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it too. We play so many games, and I think the wrestling games have really showcased that. A lot of people on the Twitch channel even say, yeah, I just want to hang out with you guys. See you guys play the games, and then we can play other games and still talk about wrestling, which happens a lot on Twitch. So that's another option. Now, there's a thing that happens every Tuesday night called the podcast. Can we all agree that's just going to be, we're going to keep doing that?
Yeah.
Right?
Of course.
Available every Tuesday night here on the channel, and that's
about it.
That is literally, the note I have is podcast. It'll keep happening. So it'll keep happening. There we go. So,
and whoop, there it is.
On to the next one. We are going to be doing more reviews. We actually have a list of things that people have suggested. Survivor Series 2012, WrestleMania 20 which Keith will be reviewing in the channel.
Maybe 2 years late.
Yeah, 2 years late, but he doesn't even know.
We're gonna keep this an inside joke for a little while.
Oh man.
Moving on.
Yeah, we have some WrestleMania, some WCW stuff. So any recommendations about reviews that you want to see, primarily stuff on the network, or maybe even, wrestling movies or documentaries. There's Wrestler vs. Zombies, Pro Wrestler. I think you saw it once, Ryan, or something, but we can talk about that later. But there are movies.
I kickstarted that. I gave the people money, and they gave me a T-shirt at a wrestling convention to fund that movie. I've never seen it.
Exactly, but it's little things like that.
It's the little things.
Can check that out. So reviews will be happening. Once again, any recommendations, leave them down here. Now, the next one. This is something we actually brought up in the podcast about 3 months ago, I want to say, the idea of wrestling documentaries. Wrestling commentaries. Documentaries. We're not doing documentaries. Commentaries. Keith, can you sort of summarize what this is all about?
Yeah, sure. I mean, reviews are cool. Everybody likes a review, right? But what about if you haven't seen the show yourself? Maybe we could do something along the lines of where, even though it's not at the time, we're sitting there watching the show with you. We make a file where you hit the record at the same time, and we sit there and talk about the show as it goes on. So it would be like a 3-hour audio file that you could listen to. But yeah, I think depending on the show, I think it could be more beneficial than a review.
It's like a director's commentary, but none of us are the director.
Yes.
Yeah. And the thing is, with the review, obviously you're summarizing maybe your overall excitement about a show, or, you don't want to talk too much, and a lot of times little details are lost. But in this, sometimes it's like just the offhand comments that we may make, or, maybe it's just silence because there's not a lot happening, but you get an opportunity to basically go on the network with us, watch a show. So obviously it's got to be networked so that way everybody's timed properly. We cue it up with the da-da-da-da-da. Da-da-da. Is that pretty?
I don't even think that's beautiful. Close to what the real sound is, but good try.
Okay, we can have a da-da-da off or something happening.
All right.
So yeah, hypothetically, just quick thing. What would be something that you want to commentate, like a pay-per-view, maybe like an old SmackDown, maybe name a year, actually, both of you, name a year that you think you would like to delve into a little bit.
2000, and I'd definitely like to do a Royal Rumble. I think that would be a good time.
Yeah.
See, I'd say 2001, because that's such a big year and big change for wrestling that I think it'd be interesting to do start to finish.
Very good pick. I'm actually gonna say like late 80s, because it's a hard time for me to go by, because obviously the characters and everything. But when it's like, the combination of us watching that together, how does that work? We're so used to we're watching Raw, so we'll tweet or something. What happens when none of that was a thing? I want to go down that
and a lot
lane.
of stuff none of us have seen before.
Yeah.
Watching it for the first time, just kind of reacting, not knowing what to expect.
Exactly.
The promos, man, that's going to be a little bit difficult. So the last topic in the list here is something we've been planning for a while. We want to plan for the future. Obviously, this channel, straight up, it started as a show clip channel for the podcast. But we realized, there's a lot of topics that we bring up that, honestly, the podcast is more about time-sensitive stuff. Raw, predictions and all that. But what if we want to do everything that we've mentioned here? That's what the channel's all about, and primarily also engaging. The podcast is on iTunes and all that, but people here comment, they like. And when you dislike, it's still awesome. You're getting involved. Now, all of this takes a lot of work, of course, and a lot of time. So we're trying to figure out how we can sort of sweeten the pot, add some extra things down the line, and just figuring out how Byte that can continue to grow. The fact that, for context, this video compared to last year, I was referencing, I think it was 400 subscribers this time last year. And we're around 3,000 at this point. So obviously, thank you everybody for the support. And I want to get some of you guys involved in this conversation here. So Byte that growth. What about it?
That's a great name. Hold on.
Channel growth.
I had to bite that growth. I needed for that to process for a minute.
That's the sub channel that we're going to be doing, but it's going to be about
ooh, that's a dark channel. I don't know.
I don't know if that one will
work
Sounds
on YouTube.
Sounds like a disgusting medical thing.
Bite that growth. Oh my God! You're gonna bite that. It's like Jillian. Are we talking about Jillian? Okay, no.
Yeah, the boogeyman. There you go.
But anyway, back on topic.
Yes,
I mean, it's always this push and pull of how can we make the channel grow and how can we find time to do it. So it's really about sitting down and figuring out how to min-max that in a way that works for everybody, including us as the content creators. So really, that's the challenge that we have going forward. And honestly, I'd like to hear what you guys think in ways that we could really accomplish that.
I mean, exactly. I mean, and also as we kind of do things, we get better at doing them. So it kind of can save us time.
Things speed up
in
a little bit
ways.
from that respect, but still.
Yeah, exactly. But, we're just kind of looking to figure out ways that we can grow, and definitely hearing what you guys like to see more of goes a long way.
Exactly. For the longest time, and it's interesting, I guess if anybody that's been wondering, what's it like to really work on a YouTube channel? When we first started, it's the whole process of, we'll just do this content, see if it works or not. But we never think, let's just ask the people. If the people are subscribed, let's just straight up ask them. If they don't like it, cool. And if they like it, great. Either way it works. So,
because
yeah,
we could make 1,000 things. If you don't want to watch 999 of them, what's the point, right? So we want to make things that you want to watch, plain and simple.
Exactly. And we've talked to each other for over 10 years. At this point, it's awesome when we get other people into the conversation. So
Exactly.
please, leave a comment below with anything regarding countdowns, fight night, the whole concept of maybe having a wrestling break, suggestions for the podcast. The Square Roundtables, they are going to continue happening. We have a ton, so recommendations about the Square Roundtables, hashtag SRT. Those are specific topics, kind of like this. It's in the same box, actually, that we're trapped in right now, but we changed the topic here for it to be a little bit different. So keep an eye out on Fight Night. Everything happened on the channel. Remember, the podcast happens every Tuesday night. If you haven't, make sure to hit that subscribe button and get the word out. The best way for the channel to grow is simply hitting that share button, following us on social media, all of this stuff. That is what gets the Byte That community going. We want to keep doing these videos and see the comments of like, last video you guys had this in the works, you made it awesome. We would like to see this now. Have that Byte That growth happen with you guys. So thanks for watching.
Had to bring it back to that.
Yeah. You gotta end it in a disgusting note, I guess. Yeah, but seriously, thanks for hanging out with us, and we'll be back with the ton more stuff right here on Byte That.